in regards to the, okay, so, the skateboard, park, you know, that was.
We have a meeting next week involving the skateboard park. There's a lot of interest, a lot of people talking about it, you know, but the meeting next week, so we'll have more in the next week.
Are they talking anything about a waterfront location?
We haven't decided on any location.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's good. And then, number 4, procedures, report for closed meeting investigation. We all received a copy of the report from Mr. Fournier, and I would like to have a motion to receive the report. Todd, seconded by Lisa. All in favor? Carried, thank you very much. I think that we'll to have discussion on it as a committee. We will wait until the Mr. Fournier comes down and is present at the City Council meeting, as requested by Glenn Grant and approved by the Council. So we will hold discussions until after the Council has had discussions with it. The next item is the liftoff, P.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, I'll just tell you that I did meet with the clerk with regards to the report, so we'll discuss it further. Sorry, E.
It's all right.
Liftoff. Did everybody go to liftoff?
Yes. Does everybody like liftoff?
Sure.
It might come as a shock to you that there's a possibility that it'll be the final lift. Liftoff has been a volunteer festival for many, many years, and originally they had 35 people on their board, and it's dwindled down to 12. It's a classic case of volunteer burnout. And having spoken to the 2 chairs, they're strongly considering resigning soon. And it just brought me way back to the day when I found out that the Royals were leaving Cornwall. What could we have done differently? And I just want to put the word out that this is not fiction, it's fact. And it's important that we step up our support and do whatever it takes to revitalize it. I had a chance to meet with Bob Peters and Mark Wallow, and we had a good discussion about it. From that, it's a complex thing. But I think it's grown over the years to the point where it's just too much for 2 people to co-chair. It's a big deal. It means a lot to me because of the balloons are spectacular, and the music, well, if you're a music fan, it would be like losing a limb to lose liftoff. And I think it's important that we start talking about it to get the word out. Like I said, I only had a chance to have the one discussion, but I'd like to talk to a few people, and a lot of them are in this room right now. And I think it's important to realize that this could really disappear on us if we don't do whatever needs to be done. We have to find out who the key players should be. I am in no way interested in volunteering as the chair of the event, because I realize that it's way too big for 1 or 2 or possibly 3 people to take over. But I wouldn't mind sitting on the board if I can help. But I think it's important to get the word out and to start thinking about it and getting the kind of dialogue to flesh out the issues and to flesh out the solutions, or at least the alternatives, to come up with a solution to give it, to resurrect the kind of energy that was put into it a few years ago. So that's my only comment that I'd like to make tonight. But I'd like everybody to think about that and to pass the word around, because obviously it needs a shot in the arm. It's such an important festival, but like most things, you take things for granted until you lose them. It's almost like losing a joint or a limb. You don't realize that it's useful until it's gone, until it's hurt.
Is it financially sustainable, or are they having trouble financially, or is it just volunteer burnout?
I've only got preliminary information. I wouldn't want to divulge that in public this. I know the balloons, there's two things. I do know there's two profit centers. You've got the balloon segment and the music segment, and they're two completely different items. There's a definite synergy between the two of them that makes it so special. Like I said, I'm not involved on the board, but I just care that much about losing it that if everybody's going to be on the sidelines, perhaps a number of us can start stirring the pot to revitalize it.
Thank you very much, Steve. Patrick?
I really think it would be a big loss if we lose it. I think the city should do more to help, maybe in the more in the side of maybe having an event coordinator, helping with such duties, events like this, to make sure that they remain in the city.
Well, maybe Stephen can describe the involvement we have in that area already.
I think
Yeah, we do. I mean, we do a lot to support festivals in general. You know, that's a flagship one, so we do a great deal of that. I mean, they come to council, as many groups do, at budget time in terms of grant requests. And some of that's money, and a lot of it's kind of services in kind. So we do a huge amount of park setup relative to that. We use equipment from here. Janice and others play a big role in trying to coordinate, you know, lots of it in the logistics side of that, right? And you know, we just talked about the electrical boxes, but those things help, and Richard helps and deal with that. So there's a significant amount of setup, and obviously those events happen in the park. There's both the setup and issues of you know, just as simple as litter control and cleaning up from one night to the next and making sure that everything's working and those things. So our involvement is very much in kind of operational and logistics of that. We don't really get involved in the, you know, who the music acts are or any of those things, but you know, fence off the launch area, or you know, set those things up. So the city's involvement is pretty.
I realize that part,
significant.
but I really think that there needs some more help with the event actual planning. I mean, it's just too big for, like they say, you're getting burnt out with just so many people. So.
probably
I don't
too big
dispute
for
your
one.
intentions, and I guess at the end of the day, we have to decide that for all festivals, because it's not just Liftoff. Rib Fest is coming up next week, and then the Water Fest, and the list goes on, so to speak. And all of those put together contribute a great deal to the
Excuse me.
community's spirit and life. But at the end of the day, you have to decide what that you have to identify what that financial commitment might be, and is it really, you know, because if I go back to a different sector, if I go back to hockey, we have a wonderful facility, but the city's position has always been, well, at least in recent times, we are not in the hockey business. We have a wonderful facility, we make it available, we work awfully hard in cooperation with our partners, but there's a line. So, and you know, sometimes I feel the same way, by the way. First of all, I'm very supportive of Liftoff, Rib Fest, and all of them, but you know, in Liftoff weekend, you know, already it's out there because, you know, that people are tired and that there's this, as you accurately represents, this burnout and so on, that people in Cornwall can't help to compare, let's say, to Blues Fest. You remind you that Blues Fest is an entire private enterprise. It's supported by the city of Ottawa, but that's so big that they've got 10 people working full time. And that's where, you know, we're in this dilemma, like, you know, how far do we go? What should be our end commitment, I guess, and that takes us to a larger debate around the whole issue of tourism, the only thing I'll say is that on the weekend I spoke, of course, with both Mary and Jason and a few other people on board, and speaking with a few colleagues on council, I anticipate that once this festival season is over, because I mean, Liftoff is certainly the signature event in Minor Park and in our summer season. Bringing together stakeholders and have a conversation as to go over what we are presently doing and seeing what else we might be offering assistance, financial or otherwise. So I think everyone's sentiment on the table is the same. It just goes back to show you that the 20th anniversary lift up goes back to all the people who contributed of their time to get to this point. And, you know, you're right. See people burn out. And these people have been organizing. You know, they would basically be meeting next month to begin next year's. And the other harsh reality is, and I think this year they took a very critical decision, I think a very positive decision, to have the free concert night. But there's a cost and no revenue, which I think one night is, you know, they reduced the price, the fee structure, the prices. Well, and I think that was but when you do that, and I know in the hockey business, I used to tell Mr. Emar, I was a coaching general manager, I used to say, is there any possible way that, you know, we could reduce the prices and we get more people? And he would say respectfully, Bob, what do you mean? Whatever the number was, let's say 2,500 people come to the games, that will not grow enough to make up the difference in that price reduction that we might otherwise consider. So there's a lot to weigh. But listen, I share your sentiment. I think everyone around in this room does. But we'll just have to see in the weeks to come and the months to come after the festival season is over to see where we're at. And but it's going to be they're at a critical stage.
So everybody's going to volunteer.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking there are a lot of very good people on this committee that if they had some additional time, even as he said, maybe not be in charge, but you have experience that you could perhaps lend to a board of one of the festivals and help them out, because oftentimes it's you know, sometimes if you have a bit of new blood around on the board, then you have some different ideas, and also you share the experience that you had gained over the years sitting on boards, and you know, take it out to the community and help someone else out. A thing that perhaps they might look at is a festival board where the people from the different events actually have an umbrella board, so that they're to make it more efficient with regards to their expenses. If they have to rent certain things, they can rent them together, especially sort of like there's Balloon Fest and then soon there's Ribfest. So, you know, there may be some things that if there was an umbrella board for the festivals, for the events, that they could work together on different things. It's just a
that's a good suggestion, because the city, we cannot apply for certain funds in certain programs, but other groups can. And for instance, I think they could very quickly identify some of their needs that are the common needs, whether it's things fencing or whatever, sort of tables, chairs, whatever. But they could apply as a board. They could apply, which could serve. But keep in mind, I know our administrators, particularly Christine and Lauren, they've worked with them to try to do some of those things. And when push comes to shove, everybody wants to do it their way. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it takes a situation, unfortunately, like this, to maybe sometimes make people, we'll see.
Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Keith, for bringing that to our attention.